nah, I'm good. You better get the fuck off my show talking like that. Like, imagine you holding a podcast and someone's working on their, and they're like, I don't know, your husband's working on like your car or some shit. It's like, that's what you loud as fuck.
Yeah.
You know how like an engine, like a mechanics be like working on, that's just loud. Like, even if I had the best headset ever, I would still hear it, you know? But all right, guys, the LEC 2023 Winters, fuck. I want to lick Angela White's ass. Fuck. Okay. So the LEC 2023 Spring Split regular season, just the regular season portion, is over. We're going to be moving on to the BO3s very, very soon. Who came out on top? Who's on bottom? And who got fucked, pretty much? Well, find out today. And what is going on, everybody? This is the Cloud9 Podcast, Season 7, Episode 14, actually. So I managed to catch up with all the games. I'm officially all caught up with pretty much everything at this point now, except a few, like, LPL series here and there, actually. So, yeah, things regarding that nature, I am all good. But how you doing, man? Day off, chilling, ain't got no job, ain't got shit to do.
Yeah.
Holy shit, man. Just waking up, not having to go to work, knowing you ain't got to look at someone's bullshit, hear someone's bullshit. Just, I don't know. That feeling still hits, you know? You're going like, damn, I don't have to see that motherfucker's ugly ass face today.
I gotta hear this motherfucker. I gotta hear the bullshit. I gotta act like I like people.
No one's rushing you to get some shit done. Like, your boss ain't like down your fucking throat for the next like 20 minutes and shit. She like yelling at you for some shit that you didn't even really do because she didn't want to blame the other person because she likes the other person more. It's just like, fuck. God damn. But yeah, man, what you been up to?
Oh, working, just finished the computer stuff. This computer stuff is just fucking headaches.
Yeah, you gotta get me on that. I if that pays more and is like gonna be a good industry to get in. I mean, to be fair, if you're in the computer industry, that's gonna last forever. Everyone's gonna use computers all the time.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't think there's gonna be any world where computers won't be a option anymore based on how we live now, or just how the internet has actually functioned. Hopefully, but because I had to reboot my computer, as you guys know, before we started this, because something was wrong with one of our headsets. So I was like, nope, I can't. We cannot do that as a show. You guys do not want to hear that shit. So reset, and hopefully my Market Watch didn't get like messed up when I was putting it to my editor, because I put the Market Watch we did last night to my editor, finished it up, and it looks like it is actually done. So that's actually pretty good. All right. And after this, I'm probably just going to chill back, get some more videos done, and then just watch some more league stuff. You know, I was thinking about the streaming league after this, but no, I got to get some more videos done first before I do that. Make sure you guys are watching. You want to watch on Twitch, you can do that, twitch.tv/CNIMaster and you can and we'll be going to be on Kick very soon, as well as Twitch when I get to be on Restream, potentially not this week, but the week after that when I get my debit card back, because as you guys know, I lost my wallet, so I have to wait for my card to come in. When I get my card in, I can put my information into Restream, and we'll be all over there. Now, I don't hate StreamYard. I don't hate it at all. It's actually a pretty good platform overall. The price for it, worth it, I would say, but Restream is just like a little bit cheaper, and it does the exact same thing, except more bonus features that I personally would need to utilize at my that I would need to utilize that'll make streams a bit better. So that's pretty much it. But if anybody ever asks, like, whatever gets you, yeah, it's fine. It's a great program. There's nothing wrong with it. Overall, the guy asked me like, hey, why are you leaving? It's like, I just told him some bullshit. I was just like, you know, economy's rough, you know, the wife, you know, wife and kids, baby shitting everywhere, ain't got no diapers. Oh shit. But let's talk about the LEC. So I managed to catch up with all the LEC games, and the standings are like this. I mean, we talked about this last week as well, and we pretty much said that Excel and Heretics are most likely the teams not making it, you know?
Yeah.
Now, what's crazy about this situation is, like, if you watch the tiebreaker game between Heretics and Mad Lions are winning that game right up until it's always teams that are winning that hard, and then they mess up finishing out the base, and then they give up a team fight. Then the enemy team who's been losing the whole
Team
game.
Heretics never had a chance. They were just too far behind.
Yeah, you kind of look at it like if they never fell that far behind, there's a good chance they actually win that game.
Yeah.
Given how they played the team fights out very well. Evie chose to play good in his last 2 games when it's like, bruh, if you were playing like this the whole split, they would have not even been in this situation.
Nope. It would have been
Jesus Christ.
No, it would have been, what was it? Swap Fnatic where Mad Lions is, and Mad Lions where Team Heretics is. That's where it would have been at, but
yeah. Because I want to show you guys this right now. Like, we'll go through like the games and the teams and shit like that. Looking at Heretics, right, from the winter split. So if you look at the LEC 2023 winter split season standings, and yes, the records here are not reflective of the game quality itself. I'm not saying that, but looking at where they finished out 4-5. They ended off the very last week on 2 losses, right? They ended up beating Excel, but Excel was the worst team in the league. So that's really nothing, right? But at least they finished 6th. That's actually better than where most people had them. Most people only had them finishing like 7th or 8th max. They actually overperformed last split despite a lot of issues. Then you come to this season right here, the LEC 2023 spring split, and they didn't even make it out. They actually finished 9th, and they actually won 1 single less game than they did last split. Last split, they also went 4-6 as well, but given the fact that seems like Fnatic and Excel, they were so bad, it didn't matter because they won't beat anybody else anyway. The main differential in the scores last split, because some people ask, how do we get a tiebreaker? Okay, so basically, since only Fnatic and Excel were losing every game essentially, that made it a bit easier for Team Heretics to get in further because of the game score differentials. When you have 2 teams that can literally only beat each other, well, yeah, that's only going to amount to about 1 or 2 wins apiece. And if you're facing other teams that were also considerably bad at that moment in time, like Astralis was really, really bad for a little bit there. They managed to get a couple of wins off that. You know, like Excel's only win last split came off Team BDS, a team they really shouldn't have even beaten in that game, right? They got their 1 win, and that was it. Fnatic's only wins came from Koi and facing off against Excel. That was it, right? So they literally lost to everybody else. So that only amounted to just 3 game wins from just between 2 teams, only 3 game wins. But this split panned a little bit differently. Excel got another win, right? And then that kind of makes things a little bit more trickier. Then Fnatic also won. They went on that 4-game win streak, right? So they're already not going to end up being bottom anyway. Mad Lions, at worst, already had like 2 wins, right? So they only needed just the 1 extra win to get them in, right? So then after that, you're pretty much their competition right now is Team Heretics because they both have only won literally 2 games throughout the split, and the break off to get in is getting in 3-6 potentially with a tiebreaker. So that's pretty much how, you know, it panned a bit differently to the reason why you got a tiebreaker this split. But we'll just start talking about the teams then. All right, what are the teams that people just really the most least interesting teams? Okay. Now I'll just start from bottom to top. Fuck it. Let's just go there. All right. Let's go to Excel. Start Excel. Excel failed again.
Excel gets Abadagi and they get 1 more win. Yeah. Abadagi was worth 1 more win. Okay.
Like, I don't even know what to say, man. Like, they finished at the bottom again. Both splits back to back. Winter and in spring for this year in 2023 for the LEC, they finished 10th again. Guys, you know how people ragged on NA for allowing 8 teams to make the playoffs for summer? Well, in Europe, for all 3 splits, right? Excel still can't even barely make playoffs with 2 more teams being added to. Remember, because Excel before were always kind of like narrowly missing playoffs, right? Excel made playoffs both splits last split, right? They made playoffs both times last year when it was only like 6 teams get in. Remember? Only 6 teams got in last year. So they managed to make playoffs in a much more harder system, but can't make playoffs in a more easier system where it directly benefits orgs like that. Or if you can barely make playoffs, then yeah, those extra 2 slots will pretty much guarantee you getting in, barring that you don't lose too many games, right? Ottawamne, I think he looked pretty okay last split, and I still think he's their best player, but it's really not amounting to much because this past week, when you saw him play, he just was mentally done. He probably is the player that was mentally done with this roster. When I think Thorne talked about that on Summoning Insight, where it was mentioned that one of the people on Excel were mentally done, right? I think it was Ottawamne maybe at this point. I thought it was Vetio maybe. It's a combination of either Vetio or Ottawamne because Ottawamne this week looked like he was hard running it.
Yeah.
You saw that Adam game he played? Guys, just isolate this. Go and watch the Team BDS versus Excel game where Adam just literally it's not upon here, fisted him in the butt, drive his fist all up in his ass, dig all his shit out, crushed up his pelvis, and ripped that shit out. Adam just ripped him apart. Literally, they destroyed him. And the Olaf versus Set matchup, actually. Xerxes attempted to be a jungler. I mean, this guy, I just don't get it. Like, Xerxes is so bad. If people go back, there's a game where he was playing Wukong earlier this week. Go back and watch something he does.
Yeah.
Around the fuck? What the hell is that?
You good?
My power's yeah. No, what the heck happened there? Sorry, guys. Give me a moment. My whole computer. The heck happened here?
MSK has become who's this hidden character?
What the fuck is this? This happened on the Nightwing podcast, remember?
Who's that Pokemon? It's MSK.
What the hell was that?
That would have looked like you became like a who's that Pokemon? Oh man, that was back in the day. Pokemon season one was so who's that Pokemon?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah. What the hell? Okay. This happened on.
That shit was weird,
I'm tilted.
Yeah. Dude, that's how I was last night. I just said, fuck it. I just started running it down. I was like, I'm tired. I'm going to sleep.
Oh, my goodness. This man, Chaz, was literally admitting he was hard griefing me, and I was like, dude, dude, we can win. It's so simple. Just let me turn the game. This man literally hard me. He was going to grief my game.
Nigga, we was just down the whole game. It was just never.
You were never gonna lose the game, though. I told you it's okay. Like I promise you, we'll win as long as you.
The Heimerdinger game? No,
the Blitzcrank one.
Oh no, I don't know how to play Blitzcrank correct. Like I was aiming, but then it was like, and then I got fucking a Moo over here. I'm like, yo, I'm done. This a Moo trash. Get to the Moo the fuck out of here.
I'm trying to find did I leave my charger at work? I don't left my charger at work.
Nigga, you be leaving shit everywhere, yo.
Why's my brain fried? No, I mean I have a backup charger. I have backups, but
MSK out here got the brain fresh.
Oh my lord! No, I think I put it in my pocket yesterday. Charger. What did I do with it? What's going on with my life? I'm losing everything.
Yep.
What is going on, man? I'm losing my brain. I'm losing it. Yeah, Chaz was over here like, man, we can't win this game. Bro, this game is free. You see how bad those people were playing?
Yeah, but you see how bad we were playing? Like,
how bad you were playing? Who's this we? Don't want me in with that shit.
Nigga, you was getting murked.
What are you talking about? I was ripping motherfuckers apart. What are you talking about?
And then you would turn around and get 2 shots. Like,
all right, 76. All right, 76. You guys are cap artists. I swear.
They got a fucking boomer over here. Can't ult correctly. I'm like,
oh, you're talking about that Jinx game. Oh, that Jinx game was for sure winnable. All those games are winnable except for like that very first one. Where that one, no, the Kiana game, where that retard motherfucker is sitting here just tanking every zillion bomb known to man. And it's like, bro.
That was winnable to like the 12th minute. It was like, oh fuck, we got killed zillion. Then we're killed zillion, but then like motherfucker out here blowing all something like, oh dude, I'm just. Fuck, I was just
sitting there thinking to myself, like, God damn, why does God give me these griefing teams every time? Motherfuckers are literally griefing me every moment of the life.
That's how I think Team Heretics felt. Dude, if you watch that tiebreaker, they gotta get rid of everybody but Jankos and Jack Spector are the only two that are actually trying. You gotta get rid of everybody else.
Yeah, for sure. Give me one second. My phone is charged. I gotta put my phone in this backup charger before it dies, and I can't have it dying.
Give me 1 second.
Oh my lord! Let this shit go in. Okay, it's in there. It's all the way in. All right, so let's have some fun. All right, give me 1 second. Come on, get that shit out of there. Is it on the brightness thing? My phone will be on its brightness shit for a little bit. Okay. All right. So, XL, they're done for the spring season. I've said so much about this org already. It's okay. Let's start off like this. XL came into the year with a roster that people thought could, if they played to their strengths, be very good, right? But that ended up happening in the LEC 2023 winter split. Then for the LEC 2023 spring split, they're like, okay, let's swap out one of our weakest players in Targamas, and let's see if that really changes anything. Then they still look just as bad because they also conveniently forget that one of their worst players was Xerxes. Xerxes has been playing extremely bad throughout the entirety of this year. Vetio wasn't playing that good either, and it's just like this roster is just not working. Then they try to bring in Limit to make things better, but this is the problem with Limit. Limit is also not that good either. You know, Limit's not that. I've seen Limit for a long time. Limit's not that good either. Limit is a side grade at best. One of those lateral moves. You know what I mean? Like he's at worst one of those lateral moves, and it's like, is he? It's not going to really fix the problem, but it's just going to be one of those Band-Aid situations. So then they still don't look as good. And then come before this week, they swap out Vetio for Abadage, who was on Schalke, who's in Turkey, 100 Thieves. And they basically kind of throw him to the fire too. They're like, you know what? Shit's already kind of fucked. But can you win 3 games for us and we can probably get into the playoffs? It's like, bruh. Coming into a team that's already not just broken, just I'd imagine mentally defeated.
Not even 3 games. All they needed to do was just win 1.
Yeah, literally. All they had to do was just win a single game, and they could essentially just get into playoffs, or at least have a 3-way tiebreaker.
Yep.
So basically, they throw Abadage into the fire. He can't really do anything. I would imagine it was because scrims went a bit better with Abadage than Vetio, but it's like that doesn't even fix the core issue of the team. Like, it doesn't fix anything. Like Abadage, yes, we'll provide you a bit more than what Vetio is doing, but how does that really fix anything? Like, what does that do? You know, because their big problem is jungle support synergy. Their problem also is that Patrick's had a pretty bad split overall. The whole team is essentially just bad, you know? I can't really blame Abadage for that because it's not really his fault, you know, because the XL management put him in such a pretty shitty situation, you know? Imagine just getting thrown in there like that. You know, it's like, how can you fix that? Like, what can you do? You know, I can't blame him for that shit, you know? I can't blame him that his management threw him into a team that was pretty much already out because they just had no faith in the mid laner that they already had. Yep. Now, I wouldn't have faith in Vetio either because he was playing like shit. But, you know, because, like, if you do that, you essentially ruin 2 people, right? We already know Vetio doesn't look that good, and now you're throwing up a dog and people are only going to remember the last games he played. What was that saying? You're only as good as the last thing people remember or some shit?
Yeah.
So everyone's going to remember these games, and his Gragas games were actually kind of good. He actually didn't even play really that bad, honestly. I thought he played fine. It was a pretty decent upgrade compared to what they had before. Now imagine
having to play on a shit team.
Like, imagine if so. That's another big issue too. Is that if they're already identifying that Vetio is an issue, why not all put Abadage in? We all said if Vetio starts playing bad, they'll just kind of put in Abadage. Vetio was playing badly all last split. I would have just started with him. He's gonna play like that. I mean, okay, that's like vintage Abadage. It's like literally his peak. Sure, play that guy. If they had played Abadage at the beginning part of the split, I don't know if they'd actually still make playoffs, but they probably had a better chance. or at least finish higher than Team Heretics. I'll say that too.
Yep.
Potentially, because we're like Patrick's been pretty bad. Limit's been average at best.
I think they would have finished higher because Corey Fnatic was slipping, and Fnatic just had a change at the right time. They changed out their piece earlier.
Mm-hmm. People forget because people say, "Oh, Xerxes and Ottawamne played together. They had that synergy." So did Abbedagge and Ottawamne. Abbedagge and Ottawamne had played together on Schalke for a while at that point. Like what? If they already knew that these three players had good synergy, then why are you? I just that's why Orcs are managed like shit. I just don't get it. Oh my god, they deserve to be last place. These bad decisions constantly plague the org, and then they're like, "Oh, we'll just get rid of our coaching staff." What the fuck does that fix? The problem is not coaches. The problem is that these players are just either one having a bad year, massively, or two underperforming, or the synergy is just not there. Just because you have previous synergy with someone else doesn't mean it's going to translate over to another org and a different team with different players in a different environment. You know, it's just It's not doing it. Like people highlight Xerxes and Ottawamne having the past synergy, but it's like, how's that played out for any of their games anyway? That's not played out in any of their games at all. They don't. Xerxes doesn't even gank for top. He doesn't even go to top. Only time he goes to top is because he's fucking already getting fisted on whatever champion he's playing just so he doesn't die. Like he's just horrible. You know, like I don't think Young Bucker and Nelson were the problems. I think it's just the fact that this combination of players just isn't working. And I think Excel, hopefully after this split, we'll learn that. Hopefully. All right. So keep this in mind, people, because I might forget this. 2-7, right? What did they finish in winter?
1-8.
So they've won a combined 3-15. Jesus Christ.
That's dignitized right there.
That's so bad, man. 3-15, really? 3-15 for this org? A combined total of 3-15. And remember, guys, these just analyze the wins that they actually have. The wins that they actually have are horrible. They're not even good wins. These aren't wins where you're like, yeah, these guys stomped this whole competition and they really showed why they should be like considered at least a somewhat decent team. No, these wins that they even have are bad. They've won one convincing, okay-ish game against Mad Lions. This is also a Mad Lions who've, I would say, massively underperformed this season as well. You know, so what do you think about Excel, man?
Dude, they gotta get rid of Xerxes. That's amazing. Like, I don't know what to say at this point.
It kind of feels like you have a lot of issues, like mid jungles. Not Abbedagge, but like pairing Xerxes with any mid laner is just not going to work. He has this, I would say, very weak side jungle farming style that just isn't the meta right now, or just has been so outdated for a while.
Yeah,
that's not even been how you play jungle for a while. It's just farming until you get a right moment to just obviously have a chance to, you know, but his jungle style is basically, if an enemy team makes a mistake, then I'll have enough to capitalize on. It's how you play jungle. Jungle's not a role. You simply just wait till your opponent does anything stupid. That's what you have laners for. Your laners can do that. No, jungle's supposed to facilitate and get your lanes ahead and actually be able to path around effectively to make sure you guys have vision deep and get objectives. This guy doesn't even gank properly. This guy doesn't even gank well. Like you can tell what this guy's gonna do the moment he enters the game. Like he's not going to be a threat. He's not a threat of a jungler. He's just bad overall. Oh my god, Patrick and Limit, they've lost every lane in bot lane. It feels like they've had some okay games here or there, but it just kind of feels like the bot lane's pretty bad overall. Yep. It's not a fix either. So yeah, I really don't know what Excel are going to do come summer split, because they finished, like you said, 3-15. Yeah, it's like unless you pretty much swap out the entire roster and start from the ground up, that's also going to be a problem, because you're doing that in summer when you're trying to qualify for Worlds, you know? So you're already like 2 splits behind everybody else. You're already on the back foot. It's like, ugh. Because like people said, why don't they swap out the players? Well, it's not that swapping out the players is a bad idea. It's actually a pretty good idea. The problem with swapping out the players going into summer split is you're trying to qualify for Worlds, and all these other orgs you're competing with have already had their rosters built-in synergy, you know, solidified players together for a while Excel are starting out with basically a new core of players, and you have to take time to build that up. That's not something you just build in overnight unless you have just a miracle in building out your synergy, right? So,
yep.
I don't know. At this point, it's one of these things where I think you just kind of go GG, go next year with this org. I mean, maybe summer is different. Maybe summer is different, but I don't know. I just don't care anymore. Fucking roster's dog shit. Org is mentally full of retards and shit. Good God. Literally the Dignitas of NA right here. Just making bad decisions after bad decisions. Anything else you want to say about XL before we go to Team Heretics?
It's crazy how everyone thought they were going to be like a top 4 team and they're 10th twice.
Yeah, that's why I said if we were going to do power rankings coming to this one, I would not have had them that high like I did. You know,
I would have had 10th as well because
I would have had them 10th because they showed you that they shouldn't be anything higher than 10th. Like I told you this before, if you don't show me anything why you should be higher than the place I give you, I'm not going to put you higher. There's nothing this org has shown during these 2 splits where if you were doing like power rankings coming into summer, they should be anything higher than 10th unless they made some massive, you know, roster changes. Because like I don't even think Patrick's going to be there come summer. Like why would Patrick be there? Patrick's been like their franchise player for a bit, but you know, you kind of hear the rumblings that they've pretty much botched selling him most of the time, you know, because other orgs were interested in Patrick. It was just the fact that they just keep botching their buyouts, like how Mad Lions botched the buyout over El Yoya. So, all right, Team Heretics, the team with Jankos, arguably they had a pretty bad split overall. Like Evie played good in the last 2 games that they had. He played good on Cassante. And it's like, imagine one of the Team Heretics wins that they needed to even get to that tiebreaker situation came through a team letting Evie have Cassante. Why would you ever let him have that? That's like an auto win. And then one of the teams also let, was it Heretics? No, one of the games that they played, one of the teams, junglers can play Viego so well that it's the Mad Lions G2 game. Why did they let Yike have Vetia fucking Viego? Like, what is that? That's ridiculous. All right. So Evie had a really bad split. Like outside of the Cassante and the Renekton game from this week, he had a pretty bad split overall. I thought he was decent in winter. I was a bit higher on him than other people were, but come this split, no, he's looked pretty bad, you know, outside of a few games. Jankos has been the best part about this team. I've even said before this year even started that Jankos would be the guy that would be the big X factor on the team, given the fact that, well, even if you watch the games, you see that he's the best player on the team. I'm going to show you guys that tiebreaker game between Heretics and Mad Lions, and you are going to actually just want to snap your neck by yourself after watching that. Jankos did his best to split. Please get this man Jankos a team. He does not need to be playing with these group of players anymore. This is just completely like you can't carry people like this. This is like carrying 4 corpses.
Get him onto XL. That might be a better upgrade, even though the team's worse.
Jankos and Oda Wamne have played together before, a long time ago. Ruby, I don't know about Ruby. He has some games where you're going like, damn, Ruby, you're looking kind of good. Like that Ahri game, if you just isolated that Ahri game out of all of his other games this split, you go like, this is a pretty good mid laner right there. But no, Ruby has also looked pretty bad throughout the whole split. Jack Spectra and Mursa are like one of the worst bot lanes. Mursa is dog shit. I don't know why they keep this guy. Same thing with Xerxes. Mursa is bad. Mursa is terrible. This guy is just awful. I don't know why he has had so many chances, not just this year, but previous years too. That guy's pretty bad. Jack Spectra, like I said before, Jack Spectra can play team fights very well. But, you know, if you're like 9,000 gold down, if you're like down 100 CS, losing every 2v2 trade, can't lane very properly, can't really play any matchup very well, doesn't really matter how well you can play team fights because you're never going to get to team fights. And even if, like you guys saw in that Mad Lions game, even when they got to team fights, the bot lane had put the team in such a huge deficit that even if they were winning team fights, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at that point. It's the lead that Mad Lions has is just going to be too insurmountable for Team Heretics to actually come back through. Yeah, you can win team fights, but imagine like if their bot lane had not actually gotten that far behind. Imagine if they didn't get that far behind, how the game would have turned out. Because their comp is a bit better, but you know, you can't give Zeri, I don't know, 8 kills pre 20 minutes because that's just how you lose. Like, I'm not playing that shit. Zeri having like 20 kills out there and shit. I ain't playing that shit. You go and play that shit. Motherfuckers, that bitch is about to walk up to you, fist you, put her gun in your booty hole, and then blow you out. Like, I'm good. Nope. So yeah, I don't really know what this team does either. This is probably even a worse situation because you pair up a Korean with a Japanese player with 3 European players, so they can't communicate properly. And I can show you where the communication falls apart for this team and why it's such a big issue. Why this team has communication issues. But I have to talk about Mad Lions before I go over that too. So what do you want to say about Team Heretics, man? Hello?
Yeah.
No, what did you want to say about Team Heretics?
Okay, this team, they gotta get rid of everybody. Everybody gotta go except Jack Spectre and Janko. Everybody else gotta go. This team supremely underperformed.
Which is actually crazy because credit to them last split, they actually finished 6th. They finished 6th last split. And people forget this. When they played up against Team Vitality, you're even thinking like, okay, if this could actually have went their way. What happened from what was that? I'd rather take that than what the hell this is. Because this is not it. Like, last split, people forget. They finished 6th. They faced against Team Vitality. And they actually looked competitive in the BO3. Like, it looked like they could have easily taken it. They need to get back to whatever that was compared to what the hell this is. Because what's that saying? This ain't it, bro. This is not it right here. This is not. I don't hear people saying, "Oh, it's the meta." Oh, fuck off. Go suck a dick. This team just fucking sucks. People always use that as an excuse. Oh, it's the meta. And, yeah, like meta changes can hurt players. I'm not denying that, but the meta change is the reason why your bot lane was on average down 60 CS every lane. Meta changes did that to you? No, you just fucking suck. Get the fuck out of my face. All right, Mad Lions. As you know, I like Mad Lions, but this was pretty much a terrible split for the most part. They like I said before, this team has enough veteran players to the point where like I didn't think they'd miss playoffs overall. Like I said before, I think Team Heretics and XL were the teams to miss. Like Hylissang, Nisqy, Carzzy, they've never missed playoffs before. You know. Elyoya has last year, obviously, but you saw that they were clutch in these last few games. Actually, they got their asses blown out by G2, which was gonna happen. They lost to Fnatic. Once they lost to Fnatic, you're like, okay, it's looking pretty bad right now. Then they beat SK, so I kind of gave them a little bit of life. And then after that, they lost to G2, and you're like, this is bad. So they went 1-2, and they only needed to get 1 win, like I said before, to get to that 3 wins. All they need to do was get the 3 wins and get that tiebreaker, and they won the tiebreaker. Now, if you just look at the game score, just like right here, you're not going to really know that Fnatic game was just so bad from them, like just this is so pathetic. And this you can see in these players, they're not bad. These guys aren't really that bad, actually. They're actually, I think, a lot better than a lot of the field around here in this what I call this soup. Like chicken and rice soup. That's what I call it, chicken and rice soup. Like in this soup area,
I thought they were from 5 to 8 was literally okay. It's just even like, 5 to 9, it was literally it was 1 game difference. It was literally
all 1 game differences. Yep. Even if you look at like BDS, 1 game difference separates them from 3 teams tied at 6 and 3. Yep. So my other thing here is when it comes to Mad Lions is I think Chasey has had a pretty good split overall. I don't feel ragging on a lot, but I thought he's played pretty good for how Arma has had looked for them. Chasey has been a massive improvement over him, both splits and in the BO3 stage 2. Elyoya didn't. I think this was Elyoya's worst split. I think he played pretty bad for the most part. Do I think he can get it together in the playoffs or BO3 stage? Yeah, I think he can. But I think this split overall he ran it down pretty hard in some of those games. Nisqy. Like I said before, guys, Nisqy has his years where he's really good. He's like James Harden. Nisqy's literally James Harden. He'll have like regular seasons where he's really fire, but then there's certain years where he just fucking sucks. There's no real consistency to this guy. But his consistency is built in, you know, how good is he feeling in that year, actually. Nisqy, last split, looked pretty good. Actually, people would say top 4 mid. This split, oh, God, there was games where he had it. There was games where he looked good, but it's this thing with Nisqy and every Mad Lions roster I've ever watched is they just can't ever, like, get a lead and just let that be a lead and build up that. They have to overforce everything. Overforcing everything, every little thing. Hylissang has the, here, let me show you guys this. This is who Hylissang is. He has the attention span of a fly. Attention span of a fly. There you go. He has the attention span of a fly. Okay? Hylissang, when he sees literally anything, will just go to it. Hylissang is a fly. And these motherfuckers look disgusting.
They are disgusting.
Flies are disgusting. Hylissang literally has the attention span of a fly. He just goes for everything. Like that, and that's the Hylissang playstyle. Hylissang is literally, I engage, you follow up, and we all die or we all live. Either he looks like a genius with these plays, or he looks like a complete dog water player, you know? Like, has Hylissang had an overall bad split? It's kind of hard to say. I mean, supports only look as good as sometimes as their ADC. I think the bot lane of Hylissang and Carzzy, yes, did underperform pretty badly, but there were moments where, like, you saw that they definitely had it. Like, Carzzy played team fights okay, nothing crazy. I thought he was just okay throughout the split, but for the most part, this was a pretty big downgrade compared to how Mad Lions performed last split. People were ragging on them last split, and I was like, wait a minute, they performed better last split. They performed actually much better than most people thought they would last split. They finished 7-2 last split with only 2 losses, and most of those games, outside of a few, like, looked good from them. This was the roster that people expected to have, like, okay, if this team hits that ceiling, it can look pretty good. Didn't happen this split. Now, to tie in, to finish off talking about Mad Lions, I'd have to go over their game against Team Heretics, okay? So this goes to show you just why Team Heretics are so bad. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that was cinema right there. Cinema. All right, so we're going to go over this Team Heretic game with Mad Lions, all right? So, for the most part of this game, Mad Lions are winning it, okay? Mad Lions get their early kills onto their Zeri, which is pretty much insta GG when in most situations like that. Team Heretics comp is actually not bad. That is probably the best I've seen them draft throughout the whole split, honestly. Though you do realize, people most realize that later on, Mad Lions comp is functionally better because Azir can just outpoke Taliyah. Maokai could just lock down Wukong with his W. K'Sante will easily outduel Renekton as the game goes on. But early on, Team Heretics will have the priority to do better. Engage with Nautilus, engage with Taliyah, more engage with Wukong. Then you have Renekton follow up. So I saw the game plan that Team Heretics was going for. But the issue here is they fell too far behind early on. They fell way too far behind early on. This game probably is in their favor if they don't fall behind this early. Now, they were winning team fights at a certain point. Mad Lions started fucking up. Mad Lions started fucking up right here. But then it goes to this dragon fight, okay? So this dragon fight is so beautifully played by Jankos, even when he loses the dragon. Say, Jankos doesn't get the dragon, okay? But he still kills 2 people. So they're already in a late game situation with a comp that really isn't good late game, okay? Their jungler kills 2 people in a fight that he should have been killed himself, kills 2 people. You're like, wait a minute, whoa, hold on, hold the phone. Wait a minute, let me put some pimping in it. The jungler got 2 kills on a team that's better than you late game. You lost the dragon, sure, whatever, that's fine. It is what it is. So the rest of your team should win, right? Right? It's a 5v4, it's a 5v3. Right? Please tell me you can win. Look at what I want people to watch exactly what this Wang Dong Ying Yang Yang fucker Ruby does. Look at what he does. Okay. Look at what he does. He TPs in. All right. He TPs in. And look what Evie's already trolling. Oh, why the fuck this Goku ass motherfucker just sitting there just dying right there. That ain't Goku. That's Yamcha right there. All right. So look at what Ruby does. Ruby is like, you know what? I'm a Taliyah wall right there. Why? Why is it Taliyah wall right there? What is that?
There's no one there.
That's trolling. Is that not? Someone said that's miscommunication. No, that's trolling. Why would you Taliyah all? First of all, right there. Why? And Tim TPing is not the bad idea. Tim TPing is fine. Him TPing in walking this way and using your seismic shove, and what's the rock pedal ability she does? That rock pedal ability she does, where she slows you. That would work out. Imagine seismic shoving someone right there where Jankos is at, and then winning the team fight. What the fuck would you? The only way for Mad Lions to even escape this is to walk over the wall down here. It's like, what are you doing? Ruby just griefed the whole fight. Now people know, wait a minute. The mid laner's by himself. He wasted his ult. He has no flash. GG. They actually lost a 5v3 when their jungler, who shouldn't even be alive, got 2 kills on the mid laner, who's the Azir, who can poke you out, and the Maokai, who can lock you down. This team needs to be thrown in the trash. That is purely unacceptable. If I was Jankos, I would have turned on my computer, yelled, fuck you, Goku, and fuck you, Nomi Hyungyong, and I'll fucking walked off the stage. Nah. That is disgusting. That is actually unacceptable.
If I'm Jankos, I'm doing this thing from Wanted where the guy gets the keyboard and just smacks it in the fucking person's in the woman's face. I'm doing that to Ruby. I'm getting.
Look at how completely trolling this is. Look at this. They all they did was win the fight. There's 2 kills. Now your mid laner TP's in, walls them off in a choke point. We should have actually walled off right here. Yep. Sorry, he should have walled off right here where my mouse is at. Walled off, keep Hylissang there, instantly blow him up. All right, now you're probably gonna win this fight. No, Ruby had to go and snort fucking crack and just kill himself. He was isolated. Ruby isolated himself alone with a Zeri. Zeri already had like 8 kills. What is going on, man? Like, that is purely unacceptable. This is a game that they shouldn't even be in this position. Mad Lions shouldn't even have let them even be in this position. And they somehow were almost given that opportunity. Like, I want to say, look how far ahead Carzzy is compared to Jack Spectra. I mean, because Jack Spectra got more of these kills when Mad Lions started inching a lot of their fights. Look, yes, it's called Gunblade's Winslow, right? Right?
Yeah.
It's Gunblade. Shield Bow, Bloodthirster, Brunins against what? Yeah, it's got 4 items right now. But before this, he was already really far behind. He only got that amount of gold because Mad Lions just kept messing up team fights. That was it. Ruby is bad. I'm sorry. Should Mad Lions have won this game easier? Yeah, like this actually looks more bad on Mad Lions than Team Heretic because you expected Mad Lions to beat them coming in. You don't expect Mad Lions. It's crazy how Mad Lions always fight for a lead. When they actually do get a lead, it's like, you know, you could just win it at this point. You don't got to take the extra steps. You could just play out the most simple shit. So, yeah, man. What do you want to say about anything you want to say about Mad Lions actually, or this game, or just what teams you talked about?
I would tell people that they were struggling this split. They're
struggling hard, like bad.
And the biggest thing I said about them that they literally got saved because the other team was just worse. Jankos was obviously their best player on Team Heretics. Mm-hmm. And all Mad Lions had to do was not fuck up, and that's what they did. They did fuck up. They waited for the other team to fuck up, and then they're just like, all right, cool. Let's just go for the win.
All right, so let's go to the other teams. Koi just looks bad. I'm sorry, guys.
They look average.
They've massively downgraded compared to last year.
Downgraded. From last year. No.
Well, yeah. I think all the players just got worse for some reason. All these guys have just gotten worse.
I think they overperformed last split. I think this is the real core right here. I think
gone are the days of this roster this core of players dominating like they were. This is bad. Like, I don't even know what strength they have anymore. What strength do they have anymore? You know, the strength was Malrong doing these really creative, ganks, right? Malrong was out there sacrificing his entire just role just to get these guys ahead. But most people are going to figure that out eventually. You know, his high-paced ganking playstyle, I like that playstyle a lot. But the problem here is this is not the roster for that. Like, at a certain point, you could give your players enough resources. At a certain point, these guys just don't know what to do with them. Like, yeah, Jigenda had a few better, games here and there, but the Koi just looks pretty average. Now, what I want to say before we continue with like the rest of the teams up here is, I know people are really high on Team BDS and Astralis right now. This is like, if you told people last year that Team BDS and Astralis were fucking finishing, first and second place this year, I'd have called you crazy. But there's a reason why teams like G2 and Koi and Fnatic and Mad Lions and all these like orgs that have won trophies have like that kind of built-in insurance with people that they're going to get it together. Is they've actually got it together in various playoff matches throughout the many years of the LEC, right? Because it always happens like this. Teams like you don't expect to do well in the regular season, then they go to another stage and they just look really bad, right? So my thing here for teams like Team BDS and Astralis to really solidify that they were actually legitimate during this part of the split is you just have to win, or you just make top 4. You know, SK Gaming last split showed that they can make top 4. They were a legitimate team. Last split, they made top 4, 1 game away from at least getting top 3, you know? But the problem with orgs like SK and Astralis and TBS is you have to actually win, you know? The only way people actually put faith in you to get another trophy after getting 1 trophy is that you actually win one, you know? Now, people would say, that isn't this a step in the right direction? Yes, this is a step in the right direction for potentially something good, right? But is this repeatable? Because it doesn't really matter if it happens one time. Anything can happen one time. Yeah. Is it repeatable? Is the real actual question. Because remember, guys, even with how last split went, with Team BDS scaling up, with Astralis scaling up, but they had Dejor, who was essentially like, you guys know the meme of like the fucking shackle with the guy in the rock and he's just sinking? Yeah, Dejor was like a sinking ship for them. Outside of Dejor, anything for Astralis last split, they were still scaling up. And yes, this was a result of them scaling up. They got a better mid laner for Astralis with Leader. I thought he's played pretty good for the most part, actually. But remember, last split, they still finished, like Team BDS still finished 7th. Astralis still finished like 6th, you know? Like the results were still pretty much the same, except they're a bit better, you know? Like even last split, G2 and Mad Lions still finished 1st and 2nd, you know? The only one that was kind of out of the loop was Koi. Did Koi finish 6th last split too?
I think
Koi finished like 7th or 6th, right? Yeah.
It was 5th or 6th, I believe.
Yeah,
it was higher than this split.
They finished 7th.
Oh, last split too?
God, 4 and 7. Yeah.
God damn. Oh,
but remember what happened in the playoffs last split, where they still got it together. They dominated all their BO3s and they still managed to get 3rd. It's like that's what I want out of BDS and Astralis is, can you please get it together in the BO3 stage and advance to the BO4s? If they can get to being top 4, that's even a better step in the right direction. What's even better than step in the right direction and getting to top 4? Winning a trophy, actually winning one, you know, actually not just doing well for the regular season.
Imagine G2 and Astralis going to MSI.
I just only imagine G2.
You don't think of Astralis or
Finn versus Zeus. Please tell me. I want you. God bless his soul. He'll try. He'll try his best.
About 113 versus Owner.
I wouldn't even go on stage. I play a fucking teddy bear, honestly.
Shit.
But I'm pretty sure most people.
I swear to God, if Koi gets to MSI, it's gonna be Mount Ring versus Owner. I don't want to see that. I don't want to. Fuck.
And like that's the thing is, you know, people have this inherent like respect for the orgs that have won because you kind of feel like, well, in the best of playoff series, they'll get it together. Because remember, guys, playoffs is technically real League of Legends. The regular season, this stuff is cool and all, but playoffs is kind of like, that's what people always say. Playoffs is the real sport right there when you get to see like the mental tested adaptation, all that stuff, right? I want to see these guys perform better in the BO3 stages. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see this like, oh, you're good right now. Okay, but in the BO3s, you look like shit. So you always look like shit. It was the problem here is that the BO1s are just a weird... Because BO1s are hard to really judge because it's just the one game without another game or the BO3 part of it to really judge like adaptation, how they would actually draft differently. You know, BO1s you would say are just like kind of like glorified scrims, you know, but we'll see how it goes. See, hey man, I called it. Golden Guardians going to MSI. I didn't actually mean that God. I did not mean for it to happen. I was joking. I was literally joking. If Golden Guardians go to MSI, I will jump off a bridge. Just saying. All right. But yeah, Koi has just looked all out of sorts. Honestly, you know, like Trimby on PGL was talking about they have to find themselves again. It's not really about finding yourself. It's more like you need a different play style at a certain point. You just need a different play style. Every team has figured out what they want to do. It's been so telegraphed. Now teams are better at dealing with that play style that it's just not going to be effective anymore for them. They just need a different play style. You know, even if they do well in the BO3 stage, let's just say they do well. Okay, cool. Like, can this win LEC again? Can this core of players win LEC? I don't know. I don't think so. Not anymore. You know, they had their one chance. They finally did it as Rogue. They could have won other trophies too, but they finally did it as Rogue. Finally had that one trophy that they needed. I mean, was that just a one-time thing? I don't know. All right, what do you think about Koi, man, before we go to the other teams up here?
Okay, and it's the same thing I've been saying about Koi all season. The team they get in, they can make anything happen. I didn't realize they were 7th last year, but I do remember they were low seed. I wouldn't be surprised if they make MSI, but I wouldn't also be surprised if they get knocked out in the first round. That's me. It's literally. Yeah.
It's the same thing Warren said about them last split, was that the playoff experience with the players themselves, is that enough to win you a BO3? Yeah, for sure. Like, I'm not saying that they can't make top 4. I'm not saying that they can't do well in the BO3s, but like, if this team did manage to make it to MSI, it's like they're about to just get destroyed, you know? And I know how people talk about like Worlds closely too sometimes. The reason why we're mentioning MSI, guys, is because MSI is not too far away at this point. MSI is what, in May? Right? MSI is in May at this point. Yeah, so we're about to be at MSI very soon, and this is the split where you got to prepare for that. Remember, it's 2 teams that make it this time, you know, for the region. So you want to send that strong second team, because usually when it came to MSI, it was like, yeah, teams would play a really amazing finals, but that second team couldn't go, and it's like, oh, that fucking sucks. I want to see that team there too. You know, MSI's in 1 month, yeah. So it's like, you got to start preparing for that. And let's go to Fnatic. So Fnatic started out pretty bad. They managed to pull together 4 wins in a row. They did lose to Astralis, so their win streak was snapped by Astralis. They like looking at these games, the G2 game was a big stomp by them. They actually stomped G2, which was great to see out of them. They stomped Mad Lions for the most part, back and forth, a little scrappy, but they still managed to win.
I told you Fnatic's gonna be better than Mad Lions this split. Y'all motherfuckers was laughing like, oh my god, you got cold takes. I was like, nigga. Don't ever.
I don't think anybody could have Sean's takes. That man's takes is just
don't ever disrespect me like that, man. I told you Fnatic's gonna be better. I didn't say much better. I said better. There's a difference. I said better. Like
no, what I think really helped him was, all right. So Oscar started out pretty bad for the most part. Now he got better with each week. Each week he got better. Like I told people, Wonder hasn't been talking shit about Fnatic now that Oscar's been performing well. Well, because like I mentioned, guys, Wonder has been playing bad. I've watched Wonder's whole career. Wonder is really good throughout 2016 through 2020. Literally at the beginning of 2021 through now. Even on Fnatic last year, I thought he played okay at some moments, but still pretty bad for the most part. Wonder was their problem. Last split, Wonder was turbo running it every game. Wonder was bad. Yeah, like Reckless and Rux were bad too, but at least they won a few lanes, I guess. You know, Razork and Humanoid had some okay games. Wasn't all bad from them for the most part. It was pretty bad, but it wasn't like doom and gloom. Wonder was just a detriment no matter what position he was in. Wonder was just bad. Like when they swapped out Wonder, people were like, "Oh, but you got rid of Wonder." It's like, yeah, he was fucking running it. Why would you keep him? I'd rather much take a rookie than Wonder at this current moment in time. Will Wonder ever get a new team? I hope he does. I hope he does. I still think he has it in him to play very well and play back to that form that he used to be in. He was one of the best top laners at a certain point, but he's not been that. Like, he was bad last split. Fnatic getting rid of him, to me, made perfect sense. Razork, to me, has been Fnatic's MVP. I mean, without this guy, I don't know if they get those 4 wins because he was hard carrying them to get, like, the win streak going. I thought he's had a pretty good split overall. Humanoid has looked a bit better with these last few weeks. He had that LeBlanc game, I mean, against Astralis, where his man was like 4-1. He's providing like no damage with his build. Humanoid. I mean, he's had games where he's looked not as shit. Reckless and Advian have been okay. they've been pretty safe. The problem with Reckless is the same thing that happened in that Astralis game is Reckless just doesn't have that killer instinct as an ADC.
Yeah.
Like there's moments in that Astralis game where he could definitely do more, put out more damage, but he's just kind of being like, no, I'm cool with it, bro. I'm cool. I'm cool with just getting pegged in my booty hole by leader. I'm cool with that.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm cool with getting a BBC in my ass. It's like, bro,
Oh,
this man took Ghost on Jinx. Someone said Ghost is better on Jinx. No. You take Ghost on Jinx, you're garbage. Jinx is passive. Get excited, because I make a lot of girls get excited. Is like a Ghost on steroids. Why would you need to take Ghost for? Also, someone like Reckless taking Ghost on Jinx is counterintuitive when Reckless doesn't all in for shit. It'd be much better if he had exhaust or heal. I think that's just much better for him. But yeah, the Fnatic roster pulled it together. And the thing about the Fnatic roster that I want to put an asterisk on is apparently a lot of the staff got COVID, so they had to play remote for like the last few games. Because remember, when Fnatic were playing badly, they were playing badly on stage. Like, that's the issue here. I want to put a major asterisk on that. Yes, they played well enough to get further than they did last split. They improved based off last split due to their roster changes. But the last weeks of their gameplay were at home or their facility. When they played pretty badly, when a lot of people thought they were playing awful, they played on stage. So by the time we get the BO3s, they're gonna be back on stage again. How does this team look being on stage again is the real question here, you know? So yeah, anything else you want to say about Fnatic, man? Actually,
I think they will perform. In my opinion, they're probably gonna be one and done. But this is a step in the right direction.
And let's go to SK Gaming. SK Gaming, I think, massively underperformed this split too. Compared to how good they were playing last split, I was like, okay. Like in week 1, it was like, okay, this is still kind of there. Right when they lost getting that potential first place spot to Team Vitality in week 2, they went back to that old SK ways of like, yep, this is SK.
And then Koi beat them, and then they lost to then they beat XL, but that was a sloppy game.
That was a really sloppy game, actually. Yeah, it's one of those things where they lost that first place spot to Team Vitality. Keep in mind, guys, at one point, SK started out 3-0, and if they had beaten Vitality, they would have been first 4-0 at one point. They lost to Team Vitality. They lost to Koi, and they're like, I feel like their confidence just got broken in half.
Yeah.
They're like, wait, are we really that bad? It's like, I don't think the team is like that bad, but it just goes to show you when you having players that lose confidence that quickly, it's like, that's going to be a big problem right there.
And then they lost to G2, and then they lost
destroyed
to
by G2. Bad.
And then they lost to Team Hermetic. It was like, holy shit, where the
yeah, like what happened?
That was quick.
Yeah, like they ended off. They went what?
They were 3-2 after week 2. No.
They were 3-0 at this game. Until they'd be 3-1, maybe 3-2.
3-2, and then they were 4-1. They were 4-2, and then they went 0-3 the last week.
Yeah. So they've won what? 1 out of their last 5 games? Yeah. They won 1 out of their last 5 games. The last game they won against was XL this week. 1-2. Yeah, they went 1-5. That's
second
horrible.
Week, yep. And then
like people said okay, so I don't know what the real problem with them is. I think what's his name? Nuclear? His name? No, that's not Nuke. It's Certus. Certus is their mid later because Nuke's on BDS. Certus, I think, is their liability player. You look at Certus and how he's been playing, he's been their liability. I don't really blame Dox or Exekick. I think they've still been like good. Marcoon, I think him and Certus's synergy is not the best. And I think that's getting exposed for them. You know, Irrelevant, he's like a good-ish top laner, but he's not like an X-Factor top laner who's just going to take over the whole game, you know? Like, remember that Broken Blade game he played up against Mad Lions, right? Remember he was playing Olaf and he just ran the game over with him? You need something like that for SK. You need a top laner like that. Do I think Irrelevant has that potential to be that? I don't know. I've never really seen a game from him like that, honestly. You know? Like, it feels like if the bot lane really isn't getting, if it just feels like if the team isn't getting like huge leads early on or skirmishing very well, they just kind of like fall apart. Did they lose confidence in these last games? I think they did. I'm pretty sure they did, and because their gameplay showed it too. So we'll have to see how they improve because it looks like they really shouldn't get past the BO3 stage, but they got past it last time. But we'll see how it goes. But they performed better last split too. All right, Team Vitality. They make the roster change with upset before the split started. Team Vitality, they've been. I think this right here is weird. I'm not saying they're like not the fourth best team. I'm not saying that they played like bad throughout the whole split, but if you watch a lot of these games, it's Perkz getting caught out in side lanes, not laning very well. Perkz is their detriment to the team right now. Perkz is not been that good.
Yeah.
Bo will have weeks where he's putting his Chinese Yi Hong Yang cock on the table. There's weeks where it shrivels up and it shows a micro. He's got a micro dick right there, you know. You have weeks where like Photon is just clapping motherfuckers, but no one's helping him out. No one's actually playing through him. It's crazy how Photon will have a big, massive lead and they just don't even help him. Like, can we play through that? You know, like can we like help this guy?
Anytime he gets caught alone in a team fight, it's a wrap. He just has to die. It's like, hey, like was it? Like we said last split, he got caught out and then they just let him die. They're like, yeah, nah, you have to
take like that they played against Koi. They fucking murdered them.
Oh
they
my
just,
god,
that was like just Adriana Chedic fisting right there. That was just get off the stage, bro. Who else they play? They lost to BDS because BDS was the best team this split. Also, that was a really close game too. That's a really close game actually.
I think at one point Vitality could have had it. They could have.
Well, what's the game against Heretics? Wasn't that a stomp?
Oh my god!
I'm pretty sure that was a stomp.
That was a stomp. That was mostly because Team Heretics just didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
Oh yeah.
That was more Team Heretics just being like, okay, can we get playoffs, guys? All we need is one win.
Just one win. We just need one.
Just at least try.
So my thing with Team Vitality,
like 2 bots on that team.
My thing is that if they can get upset ahead, because right now it's the perfect meta for bot lane to shine. I don't even think Kaiser's had like a great year so far.
Oh, no.
But with Upset, he looks better. So Upset's kind of covering for Kaiser's weaknesses right now. The thing with going into the BO3 stages, I want to see Bo not. I don't want to see 0-8 Vibo. I want to see like that Gragas undefeated, Sejuani no death, Gragas no death Bo. Because Bo, when he has no deaths, just looks like just a beast. But when Bo's playing champions where he just doesn't, where he makes bad decisions early on, he just looks really bad. Like, I don't know. I wouldn't say the team live and dies by Bo, but if he's massively far behind, it just looks like the team can't speak to him because he speaks in that Ji Hongyang language, and he don't know what the fuck he's doing either. So, motherfuckers like Naruto out there doing a shadow clone jutsu and shit. That's why he plays Wukong and shit. No one can tell it's the real him. Holy shit. All right. So that's with Team Vitality. Overall, I think it's been pretty good for them to split. They finished first last split. Now they're finishing fourth, but this was in a split where like one game was the decider between maybe being 7th or like 6-2. So you take that as you will. All right, G2. For the most part, I think G2 played well for the most part. This last week by them was really good. They just they showed people why they're probably still a front runner to win the split too. The SK Gaming game, blowout. They lost to Fnatic in a blowout fashion. Their 2 wins were just blowouts. Their 2 wins, Caps took his fucking 8-inch dildo he's got and he started ramming in motherfuckers' booty holes. Just Broken Blade. Broken Blade had his best week so far because Broken Blade's been pretty up and down. Throughout the split, it's been pretty inconsistent by him. I think for the most part, the G2 roster is still pretty strong overall. I mean, I don't know how to really judge them though, because like there's games where they int, there's games where if they're not inting and they're actually playing with a competent head, they're just steamrolling people. Like you can tell when this team gets a lead, they're steamrolling people. Like people said, this is the best team in scrims by far. And you can see it on stage. When this team is on, they're on. I think when you're putting Broken Blade on anything that's like a utility-based top laner, I think that's their weakest strength because if he's on like a Sion or an Ornn or like something that's more tankier, I don't think it performs as well. And I think that's their only biggest weakness is Broken Blade. That's it. But there are games where Broken Blade just pops off so hard if he's playing a carry. So I don't know. We'll see how it happens with how they go to the BO3 stage. What do you think about G2, man, and how they've played out the split?
G2, they're playing the way I thought they were gonna play. Like they don't have much to play for except to be spoiler to some teams. like because they already like they're
All
already
they're playing the plays for just to get into shape for MSI. That's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. It's like.
So that's my thing with their bot lane. I mean, Hansama's played good throughout the whole split. He had a few suspect games. I mean, these G2 players will have like a game where you're like, damn, that guy pretty fucking good. Then they'll have a game where it's like, good lord. But yeah, I'm proud of how G2's been playing so far. This last week about how they blew people out should still scare people. You face this team in round 1, you're probably getting your ass destroyed. Just saying, you're probably getting fucked. This is surprising. I thought I'd never ever say this in my life. Astralis finished second. I thought I'd never say that. What kind of time am I living in a timeline where I'm eating out and licking Amaranth's vagina and Kuzumi Squirts' vagina, just tearing them apart, squirting Erware and shit, making them suck my dick from the back? You know, like
we're living in a timeline where MSK is like not crazy. James is married to a black woman. London and I are married, and Warren and Miss 1776 are married. That's the timeline we're living in, because it shit made no fucking sense.
Like this, Astralis made second place. Now we did say. Now I said that them replacing Dejor with Leader is going to be an upgrade. I didn't think it'd be this big of an upgrade. That's pretty good. I mean, this is great for them as an org. This is great for them. Here's the problem. If they go to the BO3 stage, which isn't what the 8th, they said it's a BO3 stage. Yeah. So it's not this week, but the next week. It's next week, right? If they don't look as good as they did during the spring split regular season right here, people are gonna be like, were they really that good? You don't want people to question those things because it makes like the games you won come into question. It's like it was you just overperforming. You weren't actually that good, you know? But I'll say this. I think Leader has been what they needed. He's a good player for them. Like, I've always been a fan of his. I think he was not good on certain splits that he's played, but he's been pretty good for the most part, even in the ERLs too. I think the problem that they have is that they like to throw people off with like champions like Zed. I mean, this guy's playing Zed, guys. Leader Zed in competitive League of Legends is very hard to play. Like Zed is a high glass cannon champion. Literally, if you are not ahead on that champion, you suck. And not even you suck. You are a walking bag of gold. Like, remember how I had a Zed in your game where he's not ahead and he's just functionally worthless?
Yep.
He's bad. Zed behind is worthless. And I like that teams like Astralis are willing to pull out the Zeds, right? We saw like 100 Thieves. They pulled out the Blitzcrank. I like when people pull out champions like that. Why don't we see more of that? There's 180 fucking champions in the game, and you only see like the meta champions play. But there's other champions that get buffed on patches just as well as the meta champions do that are counters to these meta champions, but no one plays them. No one plays them at all. They're just as good. And if you play those champions and you win on them, you're going to drafting edge with yourself. You get a inherent drafting edge winning on champions like that in a BO3 scenario because people are going to be like, well, if I give them that champion again, they're probably going to beat us again with it. You know? Leader having Zed as a pocket pick is good, right? You also had Adam. Remember on Team BDS, he played a set into Olaf, just started literally fisting people. Literally took his fist, shoved it in Otowame's ass, cleaned that motherfucker out of that German shit he's got. Just wiped the floor with his ass. I was like, damn. I want people to actually go and see this massacre this ass whooping that Adam gave this motherfucker. And I don't hate Otawame at all. I like him, but like, god damn. I would have been crying on stage getting that beaten. You've been seeing some motherfuckers crying in the bathroom.
Yeah, man, he all crying back.
God. Like, he's probably the single reason why they didn't even get a single win this week for Otawame. I felt bad for him too, but like, god damn, he was playing so bad this week. Look at this shit. So, and this is the reason why I always advocate for picks like that, because having more picks like that just makes leagues a bit more exciting, you know? Like when Someday pulled out Garen in that one FlyQuest game, I was like, yeah, come on, I want that. I like that shit when it happens. I get it happen all the time because, you know, meta champions are just the strongest and that's the best chances to win. And I get it. I understand. But like having set against Olaf and that they gave him resources, because let's be honest with anyone, Adam's had a great year so far. Adam's had such a good year so far. He's been one of the best top laners in EU because last year he was pretty bad and he got obviously benched, you know, but during Fnatic, when Fnatic had him for a bit there, he was playing pretty good. It's nice to see this guy back on form. It just feels like they're giving him whatever he wants, and when he's asking for resources, the team gives it to him. And like that's how you give him the confidence. Giving Adam, showing him you have that confidence in him that he can carry a game given the resources. And if they dedicate those resources to him, he's not just going to just throw them away. You know, it's nice to have that confidence in your player. Now, I think Crownie has been one of the not those deaths will tell you. Those deaths will not reflect what I'm about to say, but it is true. Crownie has looked pretty good for this year too. He's been one of the top 3 ADCs too. I don't know why Crownie didn't get that over Comp last split. I was trying to think of like who was better than Comp. I was like, oh yeah, Crownie's been better than Comp the whole year essentially. It's like, why is Crownie not top 3? That play from that was actually pretty good. I like that. But other than that, I think Team BDS has had a relatively quiet first place. Like no one's been really clamoring, oh yeah, BDS has been first place, you know, because people I think don't have faith that they're going to translate this success into the BO3 stage. If they can translate this BO3 success right here, if they can translate the BO1 success they've had right now into the BO3 stage, it'll look good by them. Look how he plays this. Stride breaker, E backwards, punch, alt that motherfucker back in, fist, kick my fist in your ass. Take my dick, bitch. I would have cried in the corner. Motherfucker just got his asshole just ripped apart. First of all, Oda, why should you be playing? You should not be playing this far ahead as Olaf anyway. Like you're that far behind. You just need to be catching waves. That's it. If you're that far behind, he should be this far ahead anyway. All you need to be doing is catching waves. That's it. Look at that shit. He just fisting this motherfucker. Man, he made him his bitch this game. Holy shit. God. Chad Adam over here just pulling out his French long baguette out on these motherfuckers. But yeah, Team BDS, this is Crownie's first place in the LEC, despite playing in the LEC since 2019. This is Adam's best placing too. The whole roster, I think, if they play to their strengths, I think this is a solid enough team. You know, I don't know if this is a championship winning team, but it's a solid enough team for the most part. All right, what do you think about Team BDS, man?
I was surprised they got first, but then again, I was like, damn, this motherfucking team really is good. Then I'm like,
I don't think Labrov has actually did anything good other than just following Crownie and just being right there where he needs him to be. Like, you know how like they don't like when he roams. They don't trust this guy roaming. This guy can't roam. I don't know what the fuck he's doing when he's roaming. I just watch LeBron's gameplay. He doesn't really roam ever. All he does is just kind of follow Crownie around. That's all he really does. But then again, if that's going to get them wins, whatever, because I would not trust LeBron to be roaming because that guy fucking sucks at that shit. So, yo, what's up, Gunner? How you doing, man? We're about to wrap it up here in a little bit. I might just play some League after that. Maybe we'll see. But yes, Team BDS, first place. Congratulations to that roster. They did a pretty fucking good job overall. And yeah, ready for the BO3 stage. That kind of wraps it up for the regular season for the LEC 2023 winter split. Just as I predicted. Just as I predicted. BDS and Astralis, first and second place, right?
Real quick, let's go check out the that draft video.
Give me 1 second. 1 second. Hey, brother. I do podcasts. My YouTube channel. Want to be a guest. All right. Yo, what do you want to see?
The draft video for the play of the LEC.
Oh, yeah, I got it right here.
Let's go watch that.
Spring groups right here.
Spring groups, yeah. Let's go watch that.
Okay, so oh my lord, Yu-Gi-Oh ads. All right, next week, Astralis versus Fnatic, Vitality versus Mad Lions. Then Sunday, BDS versus SK. Then G2 versus Koi. Then Monday. Okay, how would Monday work? Basically, the losers of these the winners face right here, and the losers face here, right?
No, I think it's the losers overall.
Yeah, these games are hard to predict for because you don't really know who's gonna be here. So we'll just do the 4 mad matches right here. Oh, thank you, man. Thank you, man. You gotta start playing, man. We gotta show you the ropes.
Oh, okay, no, okay. It's the try to see.
Because this is Group A and Group B. All right, so you got Astralis versus Fnatic. Okay, so that's actually kind of a coin toss. I mean,
I'll go Astralis, but
what kind of timeline are we living in? What a crazy time I'm living in. I was thinking Astralis too, actually. I was actually thinking Astralis myself.
Yep.
Ooh, I don't know about this. Is hard. These are some
Vitality Mad. I'm going Vitality
for sure. Yeah. I think Mad have a chance to maybe win one game, but I think Vitality just win it 2-1. Yeah. Honestly. So for Astralis versus Fnatic, okay. So Astralis just beat them, literally just beat them. Okay. I think that. Ooh, yeah, I don't know. That's a hard one because there are angles I could see Fnatic winning. If Razork out jungles 1-1-3, there's a good chance they win. You can't really bank on Reckless or Advian carrying a game. If Advian can roam early with like a Rakan pick or one of the roaming support champions, I think they have a shot. I think if Fnatic can get off Skurin on something he's comfortable on, like a Jax or a Jace, then I think they have a shot at winning. I don't think they will, though. I think Astralis is just the better team right now. I think Leader's a better mid laner right now than Humanoid. I think that Kabe and Jonghoon are a better bot lane right now than Reckless and Advian. And I think that Finn versus Oscarin is pretty much tied. And I think the only real position of strength for Fnatic right now is their jungler. Right there. I think that's the only position that they actually have an edge on. I'd say Astralis win 2-1. All right. Vitality against Mad Lions. Yeah, Vitality should win this 2-1 based on how the split goes. Now, Mad Lions have been shown that they've been pretty good in BO3 scenarios and just playoff scenarios in general. So if Mad Lions win, I'm not surprised. But as of right now, basing off what I've just seen throughout the split, given how Mad Lions were running it in a lot of these games, Vitality should win 2-1. But I'm not just gonna throw Mad Lions out. I think it's 70-30. I'll give Mad Lions a 30% chance of winning. All right. So you're saying Astralis and Vitality too, right?
Yep.
All right. Who you got for Sunday?
I got G2. I got G2 and I got BDS.
Yeah, because BDS should be. Oh, they are the first place team coming out of the regular season. I think they'll just wipe the floor with SK right now. I think SK have strengths they can play to, like X-Kick and DOS and Irrelevant, but looking at their last weeks, man, has been just really bad. They have to get back into their winter form. If they can get back into their winter form, that's pretty scary.
Yeah.
I don't think they will, though. PDS is just going to run them down. Like, imagine Adam versus Irrelevant. You about to, man, get fisted. Irrelevant about to get his asshole blown wide the fuck open. Because I think, given how the bot lanes are playing right now, I don't think that SK's bot lane will have a massive lead over Crowny and Labrov either. Because right now, the biggest toss-up between SK and Team BDS is the mid laners, Nuke and Certus. It's kind of like whoever doesn't int their team will give them team a victory. You know? Whoever doesn't int as hard will have the edge. All right, G2 versus Koi. This will probably go as well as G2 versus Koi last split. I'm just being honest here.
Yeah.
I think it's just going to be, 2-1 Astralis, 2-1 Vitality, 2-0 BDS, and 2-1 for G2.
I'm saying 2-0 G2 Koi.
Yeah, what happened?
I'm saying G2 Koi 2-0.
Okay. Yeah. So those are my predictions, and I'm not too sure who's going to be in this bracket right here. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be the losers out of these matches right here, like Fnatic versus Mad or whatever, how that actually plays out. But we'll definitely go over all these BO3s next week. Love watching BO3s. So fun. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this show today. Anything else you want to say, man, before we close out this actually?
Nah, this season, this split been crazy. I'm not gonna lie, this shit's been super crazy.
But fuck. Okay. Yeah, I was talking to her for a second. Oh my goodness. Women. Why do women always question me? Why don't they just learn that I'm just top G? You know, they just respect my authority. Oh my goodness. All right. That is essentially it. I will also say this about the LEC is, I just want like certain teams to translate their success. It's like awesome seeing certain orgs do well, but when they don't ever like translate that into anything significant, it's like, it's kind of meh. Coming up next week for the Cloud9 podcast, like I said before, guys, it's going to be kind of dicey with certain things coming up next week, given I'm going to move and everything. So you might only get one Cloud9 podcast next week compared to like the 2 you get, but it just depends. Obviously, if I can't do, 2 shows, then I'll just do the 1 show combining everything together, which is going to be kind of big, but we'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, Gunnar, if you're free tonight, you can join the show tonight too. It's going to be a banger. All right, guys. See you guys later. Deuces.